just honor all those who are in leadership in this National Honor Society, the presidents and vice presidents, advisors and co-advisors. And I do want to say thank you for this opportunity just to be able to share some encouragement with some of the young people on tonight. The theme for tonight is the time is now. The time is now. And when I thought about those words, the time is now, I immediately noted how the word time is qualified by the word the. The time. And so this suggests to me an urgency in time. This suggests to me that there is a fixed time for a particular action to take place. There is a fixed time, and that time is now. And so in preparation for tonight, what I did was I played a mental game with myself. I played a mental game. Many of us have played that game. It's when you call out a word and then you immediately write down the first word that comes into your mind. You ever played that game before? You call out a word and then you write down the first word that comes to your mind. And so here's what I did. The first word that I called out was time. And I immediately wrote down seasons. And then I said seasons. And I immediately wrote down farming. And then I said farming. And I immediately wrote down hard work. And then I said hard work. And then I immediately wrote down pays off. So this little mental exercise produced time, seasons, farming, hard work pays off. And so then with this, I was inspired to share with you guys on your theme tonight, the time is now, an illustration simply using the occupation of a farmer. The occupation of a farmer to illustrate this powerful theme, the time is now. And so then, in order to help us to remember it better, allow me just to give you a simple acronym to help you to remember some of the thoughts that I want to share with you on tonight. The theme is, the time is now. And so I want to give you an acronym for the word now based on the occupation of a farmer. And so then the N in now is note the demand. Everybody say that with me. Note the demand. And so we all know that a farmer will only plant that which he can sell, right? He only plants that which he can market. For instance, a few weeks ago, I had the privilege of going on a mission trip to Haiti. And in Haiti, it was amazing that the farms that you saw in Haiti were plantain trees and coconut trees. You want to know why? Because in that culture, plantains and coconuts are in demand. You ever notice how when you drive up and down the highways in Louisiana, you see rice fields everywhere? Why? Because rice in our culture is in demand. And so farmers will plant that which is in demand because it gives them the best opportunity to market and make a profit. You guys understand what I'm saying? So first of all, allow me to share that with you, that we must note the demand, right? And so first of all, note the demand of your heart. God has placed in each and every one of us passions. He has given all of us desires. He has given all of us something that will help us to fulfill our lives better. Something that we are passionate about. He has given each and every one of you a passion. And I challenge you to take note of the demand of your heart. What is it that you want to spend your life doing? What is it that you're passionate about? Note the demand of your heart. But not only note the demand of your heart, also note the demand of your community. as I listened to several of the introductions on tonight, I heard one young man say that I'm going to make something out of myself because I want to do better for my parents, right? And in that, he has noted the demand. I challenge you not only to note the demand of your heart, but then note the demand in your community. What can you do to make your community better? What can you do to impact this world? Note not only the demand of your heart and the demand of your community, but then note the demand of the world at large. Have you ever noticed that certain jobs are in demand? Mm-hmm. You ever noticed that certain skills are in demand in the world? And see, you have a wonderful opportunity, if you will listen to what I'm telling you and do what I'm saying. You have a wonderful opportunity at the age that you are now to be able to merge the demand of your heart, the demand of your community, and the demand of your world. You can merge all of those together and be able to spend your life doing something that you love, doing something that gives back, and doing something that puts you in demand.
Good stuff, man.
Note the demand. You know what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen? What's going to happen is, if you will listen to the advice that I'm simply giving you right now, know the demand of your heart, the demand of your community, the demand of the world. What's going to happen is, it's going to turn around and then you will be in demand. You understand what I'm saying? You will be sought after. Your value increases and the world will not be able to survive without what you have to offer, because you've noted the demand. But then note not only that the former, he does not only note the demand that he may be able to produce that which he can market, that which gives him the best opportunity to be able to sell and make a profit. He not only notes the demand, but listen, the O is he operates with his help. You guys hear that? Will you say that with me? Operate with your help. Now think about it. Think about when the farmer plants his crops. He plants his crops in certain seasons because he knows that he has help. Right? He plants in certain seasons because he knows that he has help. He knows that he has the rain, the temperature. He knows that he has the sunshine. He knows that he has the shade and the wind. And all of these things are great helps to the farmer in order to produce the crop that he wants to produce. He has all of these things to help him. If he plants in the right season.
Right season.
If he doesn't plant in the right, listen very carefully. If he does not plant in the right season, then those very things that would help him would be a hindrance to him. So if he doesn't plant in the right season, the rain that would once help him will now drown his crop. The sun that the crop needs in the right season, in the wrong season, will scorch his crops. The wind that will help his crop in the right season, in the wrong season, will blast his crop. And so each and every one of you have an awesome opportunity to be able to operate with your help. Because in this season of your life, you have some awesome help. Right? Do you guys understand that? You have some awesome help in this season. So it would be to your benefit to make the most of the help that you have right now. What are some of those help that you guys have right now? You have counseling, right? You have tutoring. You have mentoring. You have your church groups that you are affiliated with, your church leaders that you are affiliated with. You have the peer groups that each and every one of you are affiliated with. When you begin to operate with your help, all of these things enhances who you are and gives you a better chance to produce a life that will not only bless you and be a blessing to you, but will be a blessing to everyone that you come into contact with.
Good stuff.
When I listen to you guys' bios as you guys were doing your processional, as I listen, it seemed to me that the consensus in all of your lives is that you not only want to have a good life for yourself, but you want to have a life that will make an impact on this world. Don't you know that God put that in you? He put it in you to want to make the world a better place. It's not enough for you to have money. It's not enough for you to do well. But you want to make the world a better place. Am I right about that?
Right.
You want to make the world a better place. And you know what you have to do? You have to take advantage of this time that you have right now. This moment that you have right now. Every opportunity that you have right now, you have to take full advantage of it. Because in this season, you have help. All right? And so, what you understand from this is that, guys, you are not journeying alone. You don't have to deal with your obstacles by yourself. You don't have to deal with whatever challenges you may have, whatever hurdles you may have. You don't have to do it by yourself, because in this season, you have help. If you begin to just look around this room, look that way for a moment. Look that way. You know what this represents? This represents your help. All of those who are willing to invest in your life to make you be the best you that you can be. All of those dreams that you said, can I tell you a stern warning that you can't do it by yourself? You need mom. You need dad. You need advisors. You need these people. And the advice that they give you, the counsel that they give you, the mentorship that they give you that. Why? Because they want you to be the best you that you can be. All right. And so sometimes, sometimes it is telling you that you're going in the wrong direction. Sometimes it's telling you that you ought to turn around and do something different. Sometimes it's telling you you ought not wear that. Reminding you of these principles that you guys and we say that we stand for, right? And so then not only does the farmer note the demand, and not only does he operate with his help, but then watch the W. He waits for the increase.
There you go.
Do you see that, guys? I want to make sure that you get this last point. Not only does he note the demand in that he puts himself in the best position to be able to make a profit from what he produces, but then he also operates with his help. He plants, he waters, he cultivates in the right season that will give him the best chance to produce the best crop. But then he also waits for the harvest. He waits for the increase. Everybody say that with me. Wait for the increase. Listen. Now, the farmer has to wait for his crops to mature, right? He has to wait for the crops to mature. He can't pluck up his crops as soon as they appear. He has to wait and be patient and wait for those crops to ripen, right? Because if he plucks them up too soon, they'll spoil. They'll go bad. If he waits too long, then they'll spoil on the vine, right? So he has to be patient and wait for the increase. And this is what I'm trying to tell you guys, is that you have to wait for the increase. You have to wait for the increase of your hard work. I know that sometimes you want to be what you want to be right now, but you have to wait for the increase. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? You have to be patient. Hard work does pay off. But how many times do we find ourselves in the midst of hard work and we want to quit in the hard work because we can't see the increase right now? Right? And the reason why is because we live in a microwave society.
Yep.
Think about it. If you are hungry right now and I place before you two types of meals, I place before you a meal that I put in the microwave and 4 minutes later I had a 4-course meal. Or if I place before you a meal that someone slaved and took time over the stove to prepare and you can smell the aroma of it, which one of those meals would you choose? You would choose the meal that took time to prepare. And so it is for you and I, beloved. That is that the dream that all of you guys stated that you wanted to be, it takes time. You have to wait for the increase. Did you hear me? Don't become discouraged because you're struggling in the class. Don't become discouraged. I had to tell my son this just the other day because he's in Spanish, and the first few weeks of Spanish, he got it so easily. But now that the semester changes and now that it's harder, he gets discouraged because what once came easy to him now comes hard. And many of you go through that same process where what once came easy to you now comes a little harder as the older you get. But listen, wait for the increase. Hard work pays off. Did you hear me? Hard work pays off. Okay? Don't give up on your dreams. Remember this, that if you notice in the world, get rich schemes rally every work. Rally every work. I believe we have many adults, many parents, many elders here today who will share with me in this commentary that in real life, the reward that we see comes from hard work.
Hard work.
And it comes over time. Results are not immediate. In your friendships, you know, wonderful friendships are not built on Facebook.
Come on. Say that. Come on.
Wonderful relationships are not built overnight. No. They take time. I mean, look at the camaraderie that many of you guys have together. How you guys are sitting together. I would imagine that many of you guys here have a great bond, and this bond has taken place over time. Why? Because we have to wait for the increase. Mm-hmm. It comes from hard work. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on your goals. Don't give up on the principles that the National Honor Society is trying to instill in you. But most of all, don't give up on yourself. Hard work pays off. And so I'll leave you with a simple story. I'll leave you with a story. And here's the story. There was a man, he was a master builder. He was a master carpenter. And he built houses for a living. He built houses for some 20 years. He spent all this time building houses. And he worked for a general contractor. And so he comes to the general contractor and he says to him, I want to retire. I have my nest egg saved up. I'm ready to retire. And the general contractor begs him one thing. He says, please help me build just one last house. And please help me just build this one last house. And if you will help me build this one last house, we will bid you farewell and bid you farewell in your retirement. So the guy, he agrees to help his general contractor build just one last house. And so, but knowing in the back of his mind that he was planning on retiring, knowing in the back of his mind that his retirement home was waiting for him, his beach house was waiting for him, all of his money to spend was waiting for him, he didn't put in the effort that he normally put in. And he cut corners on the house that they were building. He cut corners on the electricity, cut corners on the plans, all of the different things. He cut corners because he knew that this was his last house and that he was retiring. Well, after they built the house, the general contractor comes to him and says, we're finished with the house. And sir, I want to tell you that this house is yours. I wanted to give you a going away present. And this house is yours. And so the house that he cut corners on, he now has to live in. The house that he did a shabby job on, he has to live in. And that's all that I'm trying to tell you guys on tonight, is that each of your choices is building the house that you're going to have to live in. Every time you compromise on your values, you have to live in that house. Every time you say no when you should be saying yes, you've got to live in that house. Every time you give up when you should be going forward, you've got to live in that house.
Help yourself, man.
If I was at Mount Olive, I'd say, well, all right. So God bless you. God keep you.